Hi everyone, I have a message for you today, and it's from Acts chapter 23, and I'll be reading from verse 12 to verse 24. And it goes like this. It's titled The Plot to Kill Paul. The next morning, some Jews formed a conspiracy and bound themselves with an oath not to eat or drink until they had killed Paul. More than 40 men were involved in this plot. They went to the chief priests and the elders and said, "We have taken a solemn oath not to eat anything until we have killed Paul. Now then, you and the Sanhedrin petition the commander to bring him before you on the pretext of wanting more accurate information about his case. We are ready to kill him before he gets here." But when the son of Paul's sister heard of this plot, he went into the barracks and told Paul. Then Paul called one of the centurions and said, "Take this young man to the commander. He has something to tell him." So he took him to the commander. The centurion said, "Paul the prisoner sent for me and asked me to bring this young man to you because he has something to tell you." The commander took the young man by the hand, drew him aside and asked, "What is it you want to tell me?" He said, "Some Jews have agreed to ask you to bring Paul before the Sanhedrin tomorrow on the pretext of wanting more accurate information about him. Don't give in to them, because more than 40 of them are waiting in ambush for him. They have taken an oath not to eat or drink until they have killed Paul. They are ready now, waiting for your consent to their request." So basically, the power of God that dwells inside of his people is so strong and commanding that the utterances of one man about God can affect so many people. How fascinating it is to ponder about the effect that Paul's teachings had on the people who were coming against him for doing this. Since Paul is only one man, one person, why were so many people offended by his speeches? Clearly, the power of God and his words cannot go unnoticed, not even by wrongdoers. This is because though the enemy carries out a lot of evil, it knows the truths of God and the power of his words. So, as the enemy operates through many people, it is aware that God operates through his people and that God is more powerful than it. Therefore, because the enemy's mandate is to steal, kill, and destroy, it always seeks to stifle and silence anyone or anything that's of God. The enemy doesn't want a single word from God to go forth, as it knows that when the word ignites, it will spread like wildfire and flourish. So these people, such as the Sadducees, wanted Paul to die because the spirit they carried also knew the truth when they heard him speak. If Paul was speaking garbage, they wouldn't pay him any mind. As a follower of God, you are very important as his spirit and power reside in and with you. Look at how many soldiers, horsemen, and spearmen it took to transfer Paul to Caesarea. In verse 24, we read that he had to be taken suddenly to Governor Felix. And when he arrived there, he was kept under guard in a palace. See Acts 23:35. Be therefore clear about your identity in God, and know that you are disliked not because of who you are, but because of who is with you. Be blessed, be encouraged.